telling you, you will definitely see the positive.
Hello guys, happy Sunday to everyone. How's everyone doing? I hope we all are having a great time. Great Sunday. It's amazing how God does this thing. Like imagine this night for some people and this is like still like in the afternoons for some people. Like some people still have a long way to go. What an amazing thing. Oof. So I have a couple of things to say and I will just play some for a few minutes and we will be going. So, guys, as you watch, as you join, I would like to always know where we are watching and joining from. So, please do us the favor of sharing that with us so that we can know you by name and also we can connect to you one on one. No copyright infringement anything over the sanity. Okay, we are here now. Welcome again, everyone. It's another blessed day opportunity for us to connect one on one. So, first of all, why is this live session? Did I announce it? No, I just showed up myself. By the way, I told us in the last live session that be ready. Hello, bro. Happy Sunday. Happy to have you connected. That is how we're going to flow this year. But again, I have a good news, a better news for everybody today. So as I said in the last live session, just be ready to see me anytime once I have some free space and time. Yep. Weekends I'm home, but guess what? It seems like the work at home is more than the real work we do that we are being paid for. So whatever, we are here. So but again, amazingly I honor your people and I honor your time, respect your time. So the first news I have is that I'm going to do my best to make sure I'm showing up here every Sunday. That's how much I value everybody's time so that we just don't have this at random at any time. But of course, you may see some videos popping up here and there. Um, so, Bo, anyhow, those connected, let me be sure you can get me. I'm trying. It's been a while. I really stream using this streaming platform and these tools. So I'm hoping that they are still functioning normally. It's been a while, but I hope indeed that they are doing well. So please let me know if you can get me clearly. It's important. So yes, one big news I have for everybody because a lot of people have been in my inbox, especially those from creative and independent minds, and I like to be very clear and transparent. Yes, I would like to stream simultaneously on creative and independent minds as well as this for my people on Facebook as well as brightest law. But Facebook had given me a lot of copyright warning on creative and independent minds, and I think because honestly I've not had that time to sit and figure out what is because sometimes I just think the algorithm overdo things because sometimes they say, oh, they're giving this warning because you use somebody's song, and I didn't use any song, so I'm just like, what else? But at some point, I just figured out that it could be because I'm streaming simultaneously on Brightest Low and Creative and Independent Minds on Facebook. So for those who have multiple Facebook accounts, please let me know if you're streaming on the two platform or you ever tried streaming on both platforms simultaneously if you had any issue with regards to Facebook sending those warnings. let me know. So that is why I don't stream simultaneously at this point on Creative and Independent Minds and Brightest Loop. So just know that if I'm live, you will have it on Brightest Loop because as of now it's clean, it has no violations. And I hope it continues like that. So I don't want to be going back and forward with these violation stuffs. So make sure you follow Brightest Loop because that's where you may see me more often. And also, honestly, I don't have much time. If I have someone to handle creative and independent minds or updates, then fine. But again, importantly, most of the people that are on creative and independent minds are people who know me one on one. So definitely by default, I understand that most of them are following my main account, which is Brightest Low. So that's why I'm like I figured it out that if I had to choose one account to go live, since I have more people on same people that are following me on creative and independent minds, they have some of them were business people that we know ourselves one on one, and we just were vibing and sharing stuff together. That was how it was, and that's what it's still, by the way. So I just like talk with most of them in the background. That, okay, guys, you know what? Let's move on this other room. So for me, my social media is definitely like offices that have different rooms, or let me say, picture your company wherever you work, as you have different department of human resource department. So that is just the way my Facebook operates. It's just like one company, but it had different departments. So I've just matched the department where that dealt mostly with just mindset, which was creative and independent mind, to the main house, to the main office. So that's what we've done. So just flow with us and vibe with us. So please, I encourage also when you watch videos like this, of course you don't pay us to share this content we do. Of course, you can't pay or compensate us for our time. But once you can do to encourage us to know what we're doing, you it's good and you enjoy it, you benefit. It's by simply first, like my brother just, hey sis, it does not hurt. It does not kill you, just at least greet. So I just believe like when you get into any room, that is just basic like principles of life. When you get into any room, it's important to greet everybody. So just do the same thing for all the virtual rooms, not just my room, my social media room or my social media office. So when I see people watch videos and they go, they don't like that tells about your personality. So if you come and like, hello, how at least that's how it should be. So I encourage people as you watch, practice because basically that's one of the things you're talking about today. Make sure your voice is being used properly. Like learn to use your voice. And so that's one. As you watch, if you like it and you learn something, why not share? So let's just be having that positive energy. That's why we are in the space of the brightest light. Brightest blue is brightest light. So on YouTube is brightest light. And today I try to add my Instagram, but for some reason they're asking me some key, and for some I don't know. Instagram is just one of that app I can stay for months without normally opening. So yeah, like I rarely use that. So I have to figure that out. But you also, for those who say I use just Instagram, you're going to have me also on Instagram this year. So on your calendars or on your alarms, whatever you use for reminders on your planner, please write. My time now is 2:33 p.m. and this is Central Time. New York time should be 3:33 p.m. West African should be 9:33 p.m. So what am I saying? So 9 p.m. West African time, 2 p.m. my time, that's Central time, and 3 p.m. Eastern time. Please use these time zones I've given you to figure out your time so that you have it on your planner or your calendar when this program is going on. For those who are new, we always have amazing conversations and just using our time and everything we have to bless ourselves and bless each other, which I believe that's what life should be all about. Use what you have to bless each other. So, guys, again, as you connect, I like to know the people who are watching, and I believe that is like we should do it, not just in my live session. It's something I didn't know. I had to learn it I had to learn to know that if you watch somebody video, don't just be in the crowd, at least be part of the player of those who are helping that person. Continue to do whatever he or she's doing and don't wait to be oh yeah, I know her. She has been doing no. Be among the players. It's very important in life. So please, I hope we all have that marked in our calendars. If not yet, please do it now. No to procrastination in 2015. No procrastination. So please, everybody, make sure you have that on your calendar. Okay, about our topic for today. So, how to use your voice productively. How to use your voice productively. By the way, today is Sunday. How many people went to church or place of worship? So last year, as I said, I wasn't going to. I know I'm not sent for everybody. So first of all, I'm a Christian. So for me, that's when they ask who are you, by default as humans, we want to talk about the things that we have worked hard to achieve. But at the end of the day, I believe and I've come to understand that the most blessed things wouldn't even work for them. So, yeah, so I choose to talk about those ones that were given to me by my actual identity, not the ones that the society wants me to fit in. So, first, it's very important I make it clear that no, people have different opinions, and of course, I'm not here to tell you that you must think like me, but of course, if you're new here, with time, you're going to know that, okay, this is the direction this person thinks in. And you may agree with some things, but I believe in respectful exchange. Like, you must not agree with everything I say, but be respectful. As well as I must not agree with everything you think or say, I should be respectful. So, talking about our voices, each time you speak or you don't speak, you're communicating something. That's the first thing I want everybody to know. Each time you're speaking or not speaking, you're still communicating something. So sometimes people think it's only when you voice out something that means you're communicating. No. Most of the times, when people are speaking, the important thing is not what they are actually saying, it's what they are not saying. Is being able to pick, like, what do they even mean, or what is actually are they not saying in what they are saying. So though you are listening to what somebody's saying, it's important to also figure out what possibly they are not saying. So like these safety rules, they say, okay, if you're in danger, how can you say this? How can you? So it's basically the same principle of life. So many times I know we all want to talk about the voice, we are focusing on what we say all the time, and you hear people say, oh, silence, of course, is very, very important. Silence, of course, is a very powerful tool. But just like every tool, I don't know any tool up to date that was created totally for a negative reason. Please, if you know one, put in the comment section, because even when you talk about explosives that are used like in place of war, that is a defensive tool in case you have an attack. And of course, like any defensive tool, it can be used by someone to oppress, or you understand the other negative part. So I just believe that our voice or our silence are tools. It's not about the tool, but it's when you use it and how you use it. That is what really matters. So that's why we have this conversation. So that, guys, for those joining, let's know where you're joining us from, and let's know who's watching. It's really just important we connect to you one on one. And if you're seeing this face, okay, for the first time, I'm Brighter Slow, and your girl, originally from Cameroon, but based in Texas, US. So it's always a blessing to connect with you, regardless of where you are connecting from. Location has never been a barrier, neither has your ways, your language. No, it's just the main thing is the mind, the way people think. That's the main engine we have as humans. It's our minds. People who think together, we always bond together, no matter what the language barrier is, because we struggle to speak or understand the other person's language. So yes, so just to say, regardless of where you're watching us from. You're welcoming. And also, let me take this break to say, oh guys, a big thank you for all those who have been watching my videos, all those who have been taking time to comment. I don't take any of your comments, your time for granted. I really value time a lot. And big welcome to all the people who are joining. I know I've had a lot of people from different countries that I personally didn't even know they existed. But again, welcome in, and I'm so blessed to have you guys with me here. So hopefully I'll get to a point to know at least most, not if not everyone, because I know the family will keep expanding. And please encourage again to keep sharing and keep shining your light in this house of light. So yes, your voice really has a lot to do, just as your silence. So just imagine a situation that you are the manager of a company, and another employee or an employee comes to you and talks about discrimination from a fellow colleague, and you decide to sit quiet, and the colleague continues with that attitude. So tell me, how beneficial is that your silent your silence to that employee of yours? Also imagine a situation in which you see a kid about to run into the road and a car is coming and you sit quiet. So I personally am just in that point that I say silence is not holiness, but where can silence also be very important? Is you having a world that a lot of people are talking and you decide to take some space back and reflect quietly. And yes, you may have so many things to update, but you are still emotionally broken, or you just went through, because I've seen people to pour out their emotion on social media. You are mad with your friend, you put on your camera and you just start talking without you calming down your emotions or throwing your emotions in the right place. I just believe at that point silence is the thing, the tool you need. So yes, just to say there are times that we definitely need to be silent. That's just the wise thing to do. And there are times we need to talk. So wisdom is being able to understand what I just said is knowledge and applying it in the right time. Do we all agree? Being able to have the right information, know what to do, that's knowledge, right? Know how to do is still knowledge. Then how do you apply it when it is actually needed? That is wisdom now. So, which is what I want to encourage everybody to work towards in 2025. Work towards not just being knowledgeable about things, but being able to be wise. Be able to able to apply them when really needed. And in this situation, your voice is important. Yep, your voice is just important. How many of us have been in zone that were like, oh, my voice is not important, or nobody will listen to me, or nobody cares about what I say? Have you ever been in that position your entire life, or are you in that position? Yes, to be honest, because I have been there and I've sat back to ask myself, what kept me in this position? How was it beneficiary? What was the right time to get out of this position? Or what did I not do while in the position? And that is why in this year, I thought it's very important, as we are still in the first month of this amazing year 2025, and I know it's a year of so much blessing, so much impactation, because 2024 was indeed a year of divine remembrance. If you ever in your life had one reason to doubt that God exists, just check the fact that some states that never had snow in the US had snow this year. Who did it? Is it your governor, your president, or your pastor? Who did it? Let me know. So that is just a proof to say at the end of the day, God is still in control. See some people in dark places, music people who think they could manipulate their subjects, their signees and all the stuff, and seeing them being really exposed, for me, it just give me joy. Seeing some people that you could never imagine them talking about the truth, standing up for what is true, standing for that, it's just something that if you wanted to know that God still exists, God indeed showed that. And in so many ways in our personal lives, if you really take time to sit back, you're like, oh my God, God did this one. It's just that many times we're so proud to face the reality. We're so proud to accept the truth. And I know it shouldn't be you, by the way. So in 2025, this year comes with so much of blessing, so much of favor. But of course, you will not see it if you continue to look with the same eyes. The eyes that is looking for criticism, the eyes that is looking for who is not perfect, who is doing a mistake, as opposed to the strength of people, as opposed to appreciating other people's journey, other people's skills, other people's grace. Because if you don't celebrate grace, how will you have grace? If you don't promote other people, how do you want yourself to be promoted? So it's just a season to tell you that you have to do things the right way for you to have that blessing, that surplus of blessings. I know many times people prefer to shout amen than to do the right thing. And if you've been following me, you know I'm not an advocate for that. I'm an advocate of do it practical, be practical. Don't just say it, but be practical of whatever you say or preach. So, of course, this is not a church, this is not a gospel thing, but this is the truth that affects our individual lives. These are the truth that a lot of people don't understand. Like you'll be wondering why you don't have courage to stand in front of some people. It's just the way you put those people in your mind. You have the you that's why some people are able to talk about some things that you are not even able to talk about in your private space. But people are able to stand for what they believe, no matter how big the crowd is. So that comes from the inside to outside, not from outside to inside. So many of us have been silent, not because we don't want to talk, not because we don't have things to talk about, but because we don't even believe in ourselves. If you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect others to believe in you? If you don't be yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, how can you invest in yourself? Because I've seen people, and again, this is another time to say, this is a time also to say, don't be one of those who will take your time, dedicate your life to just castigate others. Like put your light on, take your phone, take your data to use that same voice that you could use to be valuable, to use it to be destructive. Because of course, life will always give us what we plant. You'll never harvest cocoyam when you plant cassava. So I know mostly in this time that we have monetization on social media, and people just think it's all about money. Oh, I have the views. I want to trend. You just follow the trend. Is this person's marriage that is trending? Is this person's business that is trending? As far as trending, you just want to talk. So those are things that intentionally I want to address, and that's why I'm like, use your voice productively. That is the title, and we are not going to bend it to make it sweet, to make it viral, to make it what is appealing to you, or to make you like to follow me. No, it's just the truth that if you face, you will use your voice widely. Is to ask yourself that first, why are you actually on earth? That's the first thing, because once you don't know your purpose in somewhere, you just be dancing everywhere. You the only people who will be moving based on trend are people who don't have purpose. Just imagine a lady who leaves the house with that money in the pocket and is going to the market. The person will do eye shopping, price, and the person maybe will argue more than everybody. Now, at the end, this person will go home without buying anything. It's the same way I see any human being who gets up without a purpose and just follow a trend. I just understand you don't have a purpose, but if you have a purpose, someone can come to your account and say, okay, this is what this person is advocating for. This is what this person is doing. This is a business, the idea the person is working on, or this is a concept, this is this person's mission. Many people don't have mission, and that's why it's a big problem. Many people don't have mission. And once you don't have mission, you don't only follow trend, you also follow voices. So what some of us are saying, we may not be aware that it's just because of the news we've so much consumed. You see people talking about other people's life more than they talk about their own life. Why? Because you fear yourself so much about that person's life. And the question is that person God? How is that person impacting you? So this year, mostly for my creative and independent minds, we've been working it. It's not about just talking. It's not about us just coming and listening to these amazing talks and like, oh, your video, I love your video, because I received those messages, by the way. And yes, I appreciate them. But importantly for me is how this impacts you. It's how you apply this on your day-to-day activities. And I'm just to say I have amazing people that I am just say I'm blessed to know you guys that I've seen. I feel like even mentioning names of people that I know how far they started, and I know how much they have used their voice to create a niche for themselves. And those are the people I really am here for. Yes, those are the people I'm really here for. People who are able to accept changes, people are able to grow. Because it's one thing to know, it's another thing to take it and grow. So, yes, guys, the only person that stops us sometimes is us. And many times we want to change things without changing ourselves. But what we're supposed to do is actually changing ourselves first. That's why the Bible says, seek me. In other words, seek God. When I say me, seek God first and his righteousness, and every other thing shall be added unto you. So God is telling you in the place of the me I was talking before people say, I said you. So God is telling you that seek him first. What does that mean to you? I know this is the boring conversation people don't like to hear because the society has made this particular truth boring. And you getting up and seeing the terrible things happening every day and not hearing about the good things happening is what is amazing, is what is trending. You sitting up and getting and talking about somebody breast, somebody buttocks is what is it looks like fashion. But guys, this is why most of us are silent because from inside we have killed every gene, every or we are silent or knocked down all these genes that stand for the truth. So even our spirit is dead because we have so much swallow lies that it has made us not just silent but dormant. And there's just no way you can manifest in your greatest ability without you accepting the truth. And this year, that's something I'm definitely wholeheartedly standing for the truth and not how sweet your story looks like or how not who is so emotional online or who speaks clear English. I don't care. So with that I don't care mindset is what most of us need. I don't have. I'm not saying most like what some of us need. So this for me was somehow like a burden to share that your voice is unique. A lot of times we think we have to say the same thing, we have to say what is trending to have more followings, but what keeps you? Because you have people who have followings, but they have no impact. And some of you will be shocked. Some people think that the fact you have 5,000 for 500,000 followers means you're making money. No. At the end of the day, some people will waste their valuable years in what is trending and what people think, then realize when it's too late that they have been on the wrong lane. And I just don't want you to be that person. So your voice is unique and your voice has unique power. Two messages you should, at least you should take. Your voice is unique, your voice has unique power. And where you use that voice really matters. My question to you now is where are you actually using your voice? Second question, how are you actually using your voice? Where are you using your voice and how are you using your voice? That is what makes each day different for you. The places you spend time, that's why the Bible also say your treasure is where your heart is, right? If where you get up and dedicate your time each day is on social media should pay you. But sad to say, in this time with all advancement in tech, people still spend more than half of their valuable time during the day just to watch other people do their own work without them doing the work. Then they go out and pray for God to bless them. Sweetheart, we have to be real. That's why I said the truth is very important. So we have to be so real to tell ourselves that we cannot give out what we don't have. What do you want to say if you're not being knowledgeable about yourself? How can you use that your unique voice and your unique power when you don't even know you have it? How can you know what you have without reading the manual, without going back to where it comes from. So that's why I'm saying it unapologetically that start by building yourself that important connection with God, to hear God directly for yourself before you even put on your news, any news channel, before you put on your social media. Make sure that you hear God, what you have to say for the day, what you have to do for the day. That is what make you fearless, because once you have that truth directly from the source, you're gonna know who is lying. You're gonna know who is faking. You're gonna know who is just there for the crowd, as opposed to just starting to hear from everybody then, and not even first of all hear yourself. So a lot of us have been using our voices wrongly, or not using our voice at all. So this is basically a call to say your voice is powerful and unique, and you need to really value that asset. Your voice is an asset. Sometimes people are praying for money. Just imagine that Moses did not use the voice and say, "Oh, Mr. Mao, I cannot speak English. I cannot speak French way, and they want me to speak only French." Instead of not asking, "What can I do with this my level? This is where I am. This is what I can do. What can I do with this my level?" So, guys, you must not use your voice only for money. Sometimes you can just use your voice to talk about something you really stand and you believe. Sometimes your voice is just for you to be a messenger, like the case of Moses. Imagine God telling Moses to go and tell Pharaoh to do something, and he decided that, I can't talk. He's going to do this because he's the king, and me, I'm just this local guy who is not even that educated. So some of us also, because we've fed ourselves so much with what people say, what people think, those people thought are the ones controlling us now. What people say, the standards people have put for you to be able to talk here. This is what you must be. You must have this. You must do this. Says who? So you have to definitely tell yourself the truth and choose the right standard, and take time to acquire knowledge, because a lot of time people want to talk but they don't take that time to learn about what they want to really talk about. So yes, your voice means a lot. So your silence is the reason some people are being still maltreated. Your silence is a reason some evil continues. Your silence is a reason there's discrimination everywhere you pass and it's still okay for you. Your silence is a reason why some things may continue till your third generation. Your great grandchildren will suffer from this. That's something that you did not address now. So we all definitely have a responsibility to use our voice productively, a responsibility to use our voice when we're supposed to use it, a responsibility for us to be well informed and know the truth, so that we can use our voice appropriately and saying the things we're supposed to say. So, guys, basically, this is what you're going to be having from me on Sundays like this. It's of course not going to be long. It's a maximum of 30. I have 34 minutes now. So let me know, guys, what you got from this message. Let me know what your take home was in this message. And by the way, I always like to hear from other people. What do you think about the usage of voice in this time? Mostly added to the fact that a lot of young folks are exposed to way more information and over information, even that we can say they have more influence, external influence, than those who were born 20 years ago. So, what do you say is the power and importance of knowing how to use your voice and the voice to listen to? Because you can't be productive if you don't really understand where to use your voice and how to use it. So, guys, it's been a blessing, and thank you for all those who are watching. I know some people were watching and not talking, but I encourage you not to be in the crowd, not to always be in the audience. Learn to be part of the players. That is also what makes you outstanding. Don't always choose to be a backup singer. If you have opportunity to lead, lead. Don't always choose to be those clapping. If you have opportunity to train other people in what you've been observing, do it. You don't need nobody starts up professional. No professional became perfect from day one. Practice makes you perfect. Practice makes you professional. So it's the practice, it's the continual, the consistency that make you stay relevant. You can do something right the first time. The ability to reproduce it is dependent on your effectiveness and how much you have practiced it. So even your voice, the tone and everything is going to be a continuous journey. I keep learning a couple of things when it comes to public speaking, when it comes to engagement. I keep learning. I'm always a student in classes like that. So when I see people dropping videos on that, I learn how to be a good listener, because another thing about talking is not just talking, but it's the ability to also listen to other people's opinion, which I believe a lot of people this generation don't have. Everybody wants to talk. Everybody just wants to express how they feel. But sometimes, sweethearts, our feelings really don't matter. Our opinions really don't count. It's just the truth. So once you understand that, you also help you to know where to spread that energy and when not to waste the energy. So talking about this voice, of course, is just a topic that I know will never finish. The key thing, choose the voice to listen to. There are a lot of people talking. If you know what you want and you know yourself, know your own journey, you definitely know who to listen to. If you have exactly the things you're going to buy in the market, definitely you know what shops to enter. But once you don't have a list, you may just be entering one shop and leaving, entering the other one and just wasting your time and still end going home buying nothing. So that's what a lot of us have been doing. We just listen to everybody and anybody saying anything. Some of us was till we get up and focus on gossip. Who is talking about another person? Possibly the person I've never met the person he's talking about, but you take your time, you dedicate to listen to gossip apropos. That same time, and now your voice, all you have to say and say it so confidently is what you've heard from a gossip. So we have to grow. So that we don't just talk based on emotions and feelings. So have a blessed week, and hopefully you see some videos from me this week, and let me know what your thoughts are again with regards to this particular video. If you want me to do more like this, if you want it longer, if you want it shorter, but honestly guys, I want to keep it shorter because my weekend is still always busy, and I'm just trying to be like consistent to make sure that at least I share these ideas that come from me. I always have the ideas, and of course, I can keep them to myself. I get the lessons and I try to practice them. But what will I get if I keep it where I could share it for friends? We could benefit somebody. These are things also that these topics like this is why some people will pay for a life coach. It's why some people will pay for coaches to help them throughout the journey, but you get them for free. So I know a lot of time when people get things for free, they don't value them, but again, it's still worth sharing. So this is also to encourage somebody that you may have some messages, some lessons you've learned in your life. Don't be ashamed to share. Don't be so concerned about people's opinion because it really doesn't matter. It just also makes some people feel they're too relevant in your life. People who normally don't even have an impact in whatever you're doing. So just know yourself, know your journey, and focus on your lane, and people who are supposed to benefit from your light will always benefit as far you stay consistent. So again, I apologize because I know at times that I have to take a break from social media and all external noise so that I could be this confident, by the way, to talk about the things I talk about so boldly and so unapologetically. So guys, it's your girl, Miss Remarkable, God's brightest light. So hope to see you all around again and again. Fee at home. This is a virtual house, so don't be a stranger. Fee at home. Know we always see all you do and we appreciate you. We love you. Stay blessed.